As INFJs, we already hold the vision. The thing that we actually need is a place for it to land, a place for it to live, a place to make it reality. If you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or lost, it's probably because you're not actively creating a container for your vision. You're not creating externally observable facts within a system that is sustainable, that allows you to continuously pour into it so your vision becomes part of your everyday life. So today we're talking about 5 key points that are going to make the difference between you staying stuck in your dreams and bringing them out in reality, making them true, creating that container, why it's so important, and why we consistently have to build within that in order to live the life we always knew we were capable of. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Priority Code Checklist. And if you want to take it to the next level, then either get one of my programs or work with me one-on-one. Everything you need to know, you can find through the links in the description. Number 1, vision without form turns into emotional weight. When you feel this vision is ready to be born, it's ready to become reality, but you're not really taking action on it, your inner life becomes very heavy. Our energy turns inward. And as introverts who are naturally drawn inward, if you go inward too much, it becomes really, really difficult. I've been there. I have really tried everything to stay in my mind, not to disturb my surroundings or the energy around it, because I knew once I start this process, there is no going back. But when you, as an introvert and as an intuitive introvert at that, put your energy inward, it's a double whammy. Like, it's just too much. You are way too deep in emotions, in psychological depth. Like, it can really get you to a really, really dark place. And I've been to hell and back when it comes to this. I have taken it all the way into existential crisis and have gotten out on the other side. And I can tell you, it is about moving that energy outward. We have to create that container. We have to start building it. We have to start bringing out who we are. And it's going to make all the difference in you knowing for sure, not thinking, not believing, but knowing that you're already creating the epic life on your terms. Number 2, a container is a daily life that holds your truth. So think of me, for example. How does my life represent the container? Well, it represents it because I'm doing this YouTube channel. I've quit my job. I've chosen a relationship that enhances the person I want to be. I'm not taking on friends who are my projects there to fix, but they're there to support me on my journey. That is a container, something that you can anchor into the real world. Something where if you would tell somebody about it, it actually exists. Me thinking about things in my mind, having an opinion on how a dynamic is or whatever it may be, that's not a tangible result. Creating a YouTube video is a tangible result, but so is having that one conversation that is hard with a friend where you actually evoke a boundary. And that is not about what the other person is supposed to do. That is about what you are going to do if they don't change their behavior and you actually do it. You say, I'm going to focus on me, and everybody who has a place in my life has to support me. I'm not going to be open to any kind of dynamic that is only working because I'm neglecting myself. And as INFJs, we have to think of it in terms of our 4th function, extroverted sensing. We have to have an impact on the real world. It is not enough to just say, oh, my energy is different and I'm listening to music and I'm doing spiritual work. Well, great, like amazing, like love it. Like I live for that stuff. But the thing that's going to make a difference for us is actually to express ourselves one way or another, to express our internal world in an external container. And just so you know, when you start this process, it's going to be very hard in the beginning. This is going to require more energy out of you than staying in your old patterns. But it's never going to be as hard as it is when you first started. It's like I always say, if you are at a cornfield and all your life you've gone down one path and now you start carving out another, it's going to take some time for you to start carving out that new path until there's enough momentum that will actually make it easier. And with every step that you take, your life gets easier because your external structure is a representation of who you know to be inside. Key point number 3, as INFJs, we resist structure and we want flow. Our first function is a perceiving function. We are not born structured. Like INFJs are not the typical type A person, but we do need structure in order to have a path for our energy, in order to really use our creative force and put it into something. If you're not doing this, your energy just gets diffused and it's sitting there and you feel stuck and numb. It just doesn't work. Yes, we all love to dream, but it's not enough. If it was, I would tell you, please do this. I said this in one of the last videos. If I would know that you sitting on your couch and just having like those dreams, if that would make you have like this fulfilled life, I would be the first one to tell you, go for it. Like, who is there to tell you that this is not a fulfilling life? But it doesn't work. It's an escape. And every escape is like substance abuse. It numbs the problem for a little bit, but it doesn't make it go away. What makes it go away is to actually become whole, lean into our extroverted functions, create a container, and start living the life that is a representation of who we know to be. Key point number 4, without a container, others can't meet you. So often I have seen other people who are also not stepping into their truth. And I felt like we have a connection. We both have so much potential, but we're not tapping into that. And it's actually that we connected on that. But that's when people actually can't meet the real you. Because as long as who you are stays inside, people have no idea who you are and what you're about. As INFJs, we experience this so often because we can read people really easily, but they cannot read us. And when you're an INFJ, you know the feeling of everybody around you not knowing who you actually are. When I started my journey, my friends who I had known for 20 years for the first time told me, you know, you've always told us you're a little bit different and you do things like your own way, but I sort of thought that's just something you said. Now I see it for the first time. And that is what is going to make a big difference. You want people to see you. And we go through life thinking, why don't they just get it? I just have to translate myself more, make myself more accessible. And if I choose me, that's not going to look good. It's not going to create this amazing experience. Like, it's going to fall short to what I know my vision can be. But our vision is our North Star. We're not starting with that. This is the goal that we can reach for. We start with reality, how it is right now, with the things that are tangible, as in, how do you like your apartment? How do you like your spouse? How do you like your friends? How do you like your job? All of those things. We start with the everyday thing and we say, how can I lead my life into a direction that is more in alignment with who I know to be internally? And that's how people meet you. I've seen how people completely dismissed me, and not just in a way of, oh, you're unimportant, but they didn't even see what we had in common. They didn't see who I was because there was no container for them to experience me through. You know how it is that you see other people and you see all of their energy and you see who they are. You can do that because there's a container. If they would just keep it inside, you wouldn't see that. So if we think, oh, I can read a person so great, it's because they voice who they are. They are living out their life in a specific way. Like, one way or another, you can read either that something is in alignment or something is not in alignment. But if we hide our core, there's no way for anybody to ever meet who we actually are. They might interpret it differently. Of course they do. Everybody has their own interpretation of life, but still, they can actually meet you. And if you don't bring who you are to the outside in a way that your life is a representation of who you are inside, you're always going to feel like people have no idea who you actually are. And number 5, you already have the vision. You now need a system that matches that. As INFJs, we do have a vision. A lot of people don't have it. Most people don't have the clarity that we have. We know how things are going to develop. We know what could be. This is our superpower. But it's going to be unused potential as long as it stays in our mind. So now is the time to stop dreaming, to actually wake up and make our dream reality. So we need habits, we need structures, we need choices that help us turn who we know to be into reality. And that's what I'm here to help you with. So if you're ready for that, then either work with me one-on-one or get one of my programs. And I'm going to help you to turn your INFJ Epic vision into your INFJ Epic life. Everything you need to know you can find through the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.